So yeah, this is my 8th one racing. I think maybe 15 or 16 attending. My first one was back in Langkawi. I think it was 2004, I believe, or start of 2005. There's a lot I remember in terms of racing. It didn't quite go so well. I won all the heats and lost the final, unfortunately. But the biggest thing I remember there is we had a huge rainstorm. I don't know if you remember, we had a huge rainstorm and the track was flooded. And I remember the whole island coming and stopping and pumping off the track and so on. And then I remember as well, we're making paper boats in the car park and the boats floating down and stuff like that. And just a memory as a child doing that race, and that was my first one. And yeah, obviously it was a magic, traveling to Malaysia. Then after that, when my first win in 2008 in La Conca, I guess winning obviously is a highlight. But I remember working with HRS, Tristram Oman and Nigel Horner all those years, and Tristram had been so close to winning a world final, and I managed to do it for them. It was their first World Championship, World Finals, and so that was huge. I remember coming out of Parc Fermé seeing Nigel in tears, and if anyone knows Big Nigel, he doesn't normally get emotional. Yeah, then 2011, I come back from the factory stuff, the CIK stuff, to race Rotax, and I had that hunger to really prove myself, and we won again in senior. And then in 2012, first time representing Canada, it was probably one of the best races I've ever done. I didn't have the speed, but I held on and used all the years of experience, I guess, to hold on for the win. And yeah, so they're kind of what stands out to me. Hopefully we can have another highlight this week. It's the same thing, it's a go-kart, right? It's a go-kart and we're driving around. Obviously there's not that necessarily much strength in depth compared to the senior categories, DD2 and senior. But racing's racing, you want to go out and win. It's funny, I was in the lineup to get my toolbox to start of the week, and a guy came up to me and showed me a picture, and it was 2012 Portimao, and I was holding his son. And his son's now here racing in Minimax, and it just kind of made me realise I'm getting on a bit. But yeah, it's fun, it's racing, we want to win, and at least I think in Masters a little bit more, we're not, Toto Wolff isn't around the corner to come and sign us up for Mercedes next week, so it's, we're all going to go back to our families and kids at the end of the weekend, so it's a little bit more amicable, shall we say, but like I said, we still want to go out and win. If there's any event in the world, this is the event you have to try and get to. I've been working with drivers all over the last 10 years or so, and the whole goal is to do this race. And that's part of the reason I'm here this weekend in Team Canada. There's 9 drivers that started in my academy. They've gone from 6 years of racing, like never racing before, to qualifying here, and this was always the goal for them. There's no other event in the world like it. I didn't realise it was 25 years next year. Maybe I'll have to come back and try a race again next year, 25 years time. It changed everything. I grew up in the UK, raced in the UK, and I think if I hadn't have won the World Finals, I wouldn't have, gone and raced for the CIK stuff with the factory guys and stuff like that. I wouldn't have met, my future boss who brought me to Canada. I wouldn't have met the mother of my kids, my wife now. It changed my whole life, So it's everything. Rotax has given me my life in a way, So it's I will forever be grateful, and I'll forever be part of this event as long as I can be. Yeah, exactly. My parents moved out to Canada a year after I moved to Canada, and again, if we didn't do Rotax and we didn't qualify for these races, then we wouldn't be living in Canada now, in the snow right now back in Canada. So yeah, like I said, it's life-changing, and that's basically down to Rotax.